Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for the final episode of Pedestal. Officially, I've been saying that for the last 3 episodes, I know, but this one actually is going to be the last one. I just don't like doing episodes longer than an hour and 45 minutes because they actually drain me to edit, which is why, and again, longer episodes, people tend to not, have the attention span to watch them. So I like to just keep them a little bit shorter for my sake and for your guys' sake. But yeah, regardless of how long this one's gonna be, I'm gonna finish it today. But yeah, anyways, on the last episode, we ended with the prompt of we have to go see who Shiori consulted with, and that was the counselor. Yeah, that's right. Natsume discussed something with the counselor. Unable to talk about it with her family or friends or seniors, no doubt there was no one but the counselor she could turn to. The counselor should know something about Natsume's troubles. I have to get it out of her. But she did say before that she couldn't discuss people who consulted with her. What to do then? Actually, hold on. Maybe there's no need to ask about Natsume directly. If I bring up topics that might have some relevance to Natsume, I may be able to get info on her through our conversation. The counselor here does seem a little bit careless after all. If I guide her along properly, she might accidentally tell me something. Alright. Akari's gotten, I always gotten so good at being a investigator. Hello, Miss Ue. Something you want to discuss? Nope, I've got time to spare, so I kind of felt like wanting to chat. Is that okay? Of course. Give me a moment. I'll go and pour some tea for you. Alright. For the time being, I'll just keep talking about whatever pops into my head. Well, but it wouldn't be good if I brought up a weird subject and upset her, I guess. Gotta be careful. Mind sync. Oh, shit. How does our school look to your eyes, Miss Counselor? Do you think it's a good school? Well now, I think it's quite a good one, yes. Full of good girls, and the teachers are kind as well. Clubs. Term exams. End of term exams are close. Whew, it's rough. I'm not that smart. I envy smart kids. Hee hee, well do your best and study then, but be careful not to stress yourself, okay? Do you have any hobbies, Miss Counselor? I'm into needle felting lately, but it always turns out strange. It's pretty difficult, you know. Oh, lovers. Say, do you have a lover or anything? I love her little face. It's so funny. I don't. Not for the past few years, at least. Ugh, don't ask me things like that. Oh, sorry. Worries. You may be the one offering consulting, but do you have worries of your own? Worries, Some of the things students talk to me about have me at a loss for what to do, but it's not as if they're things I alone can help with. There's a month to go until winter break. I'm looking forward to it. Do you have any plans? I always go back to my home in Hyogo for winter break, and I have to get souvenirs for all my coworkers and friends, so it's always a lot of luggage to bring back. I was gonna say, I missed the ones I wanted to ask about. Miss Ue, could we wrap this up soon? I feel kind of tired. Let's talk again some other time, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Huh? It hasn't even been that long. Did I accidentally bring up a topic she didn't like? Yes. Is the game over? Yeah, okay. Shouldn't have asked for. I just thought it was funny. School. Clubs. Are there any clubs of ours you give special support, like the Veteran Orchestra Club, say? I root for the tennis team. I used to go to the tennis court often to watch their practice, but lately, you know. You haven't been going lately? Why not? Going to the tennis court just makes me remember how a student died just near there. Oh, fuck. Has anything amusing happened lately? Oh, I saw Mr. Makoto running down the hall and tripped this morning. Bottles! No! I suppose he was in a hurry not to be late. I couldn't help but have a chuckle. Hee hee. Do you have any hobbies, Miss Counselor? Oh yeah, the needle felting thing. Hometown. Oh, I'm impressed you could tell. Yes, I was born in Hyogo. It's a good place. You should pay it a visit. I already upset her, though. Don't want to ask about late lovers. What about fave foods? You often go to the cafeteria, don't you? What do you eat there? The special cookies? Hee, that's right, I love those cookies, so I go buy them all the time, and I offer them to some girls who visit me. Lots like to see them. Lots of them like them, you know. Oh shit, I shouldn't have asked about secrets. Oh fuck, no! Do you accept consulting about romance? Is that something a lot of girls discuss? Oh, constantly. Always with there's someone in another class I like, or I had a fight with my partner. Huh, in another class? But we are a girls' school. If you like someone, gender's of no relevance. There seem to be quite a few couples at our school. In fact, come in anytime you want to talk about love yourself, Miss Ue. Sorry to say, but I'm a stranger to love. Oh no, I should. I think I did it that time. I don't know why that one was so tough for me. I'm not really getting anything fruitful. What should I do? Say, Miss Ue, there was something I wanted to ask you. Is that okay? Huh? What is it? Running the newspaper club, I imagine you're well informed about not just this school, but things near the school. Well? Maybe. I'd say it depends on the information. Something you wanted to know? Do you know the person they call the cat hag? Ah, yes, that cat-loving old lady who lives behind the school. What about her? What sort of person is she? If you know, could you tell me? I heard she's an oddball who keeps many cats and even goes around feeding strays. I've heard the same, and that she gets complaints from City Hall for not keeping her cats under control. I've also seen her in person, and she seemed kind of scary, muttering things to herself. I wonder if it's dementia. I see. So perhaps there isn't anything I can do alone. I wonder what can be done. So why the cat hag? It's nothing. I was just a bit curious. Please forget about it. Oh, look at the time. Why don't we call it there? Come visit again any time, Miss Ue. Thank you very much. The cat hag? Come to think of it, I totally forgot, but the cat hag is technically connected to Natsume. The lunch lady in the cafeteria told me she was seen with Natsume. That's all about all the info I have, but when I saw her in person, she scared me too much for me to have the courage to question her. I ended up just leaving it there. I wonder why the counselor asked me about the cat hag out of the blue. Hoping to hear about what she discussed with Natsume, I brought up new topics that felt relevant to Natsume. Yet why did the cat hag come up? Natsume liked cats. She was seen crying while feeding a stray cat. The cat hag keeps a lot of cats. She was spotted walking with Natsume. Rather than amusing... not personally, but I've heard a lot of bad things happening. Like what? Something someone told you about? Yes, but it's all rather terrible. I don't want to upset you, Miss Ue, so I'll choose not to say anything. Sorry. You may be the one offering consulting, but don't you have worries of your own? Worries, Some of the students talk to me about have me at a loss for what to do, but it's not as if they're things I alone can help with. I recall Natsume's reason for not revealing her worries to Hahakiki was she didn't want to upset her. Meanwhile, she told Miyuki she had a problem she couldn't do anything about herself, so she had to consult someone. The counselor mentioned an incident a student told her about that was upsetting. Furthermore, she said she was worried about something a student told her, but that she couldn't do anything about it alone. Their respective remarks sound similar to each other, don't they? Could those worries be one and the same? I can't change things around me, so all I can do is change myself. And to do that, there's things I have to resolve. One of them depends on me. I could take action on it right away if I had the courage, but I'm having a hard time bringing myself to. And another is a problem that I doubt I can do anything about alone, so I have to discuss it with someone. Natsume had 2 problems. One of them she discussed with the counselor. But even the counselor found it difficult to deal with the issue, so it's still yet to be resolved. Since the counselor is still troubled by it after Natsume's death, it's not a personal problem of Natsume's, it's something separate. And the counselor asked me about the cat hag without any context. No, it's not like there wasn't context. She was reminded about Natsume through our conversation. It's because she was reminded of Natsume that she asked me about the cat hag. Putting it all together, that means. That the worry Natsume had to do with the cat hag? I'm honestly not confident whether I'm on the right track, but it's about all I can think of as things stand now. In any event, I'll have to talk to the cat hag to know, huh? You know, the cat hag was someone whose name came up early in the investigation as connected to Natsume. I should have talked to her sooner instead of staying away out of fear. Dang it. Okay, I saw the cat hag's house before, so I know where that is. Now I'll go talk to her. But I have way too little prior information about the cat hag, huh? I don't even know her real name. If I just go to meet with her, I'm not sure I have much of a lead to start off with. If I mess up this time, I bet it'll be hard to try again. I guess before I go to her house, I'll do some light questioning. I might be able to get some info that'll be useful to me later. Time to start investigating. Oh, interview mode. We're back to interview mode. Alright. Cat hag, that strange old lady, she causes lots of cat problems. Between pushing the limits of animal hoarding and going around feeding strays, she's in need of watching. Don't go getting involved now. I heard the cat hag called her cats children, you know. So she'd go around thoughtlessly feeding strays. I suppose it's dementia, isn't it? I suppose. Oops. Quarreling with people from City Hall. Huh, did City Hall give up? Who can say? I've seen fewer strays lately too, so maybe there's been less trouble there? Acting a bit strange lately. Lately? Hasn't she always been strange? She's caused cat-related trouble for a while, but her personality wasn't that unusual. Always putting on a gentle smile, and you could hold a proper conversation. But you can't get through to her lately. She's always muttering to herself, abruptly laughing or screaming, and she hasn't been seen in public much, it seems. Is that so? That's scary. That's sad, is what that is. That's like what happens when old people... That's what happens when old people who don't have family end up going a bit nuts. You feel bad for her? Do you know something about her situation? I heard it from my parents. See, the cat hag lost her son in an accident. Since her husband passed away young, the cat hag's son was really dear to her. Right after his death, she seemed depressed enough that there was a worry she'd kill herself to follow him. But she gradually regained her spirits after taking in the cat her son had owned. She fawned over it like it was her own child. That was what set things off. She started to pick up one stray after another. Once she couldn't keep any more in her house, she started going out and feeding strays directly. That got her in disputes with the neighbors. I see, so that's the history. Yeah, that's sad as hell. That should be everyone. Alright. Let's go see the cat hag. The cat hag. We're getting so many new locations. It's actually crazy. This is the place, the cat hag's house. Ugh, the smell is really awful close up. It's like beastly. Can't blame the neighbors for disputes given this foul smell. Heck, living here seems pretty nuts. Enough, no point in getting nervous. Let's go on the attack. There's a nameplate? So her family name is Tamura. Alright. Mrs. Tamura? My name is Ue, a second-year student at Cosmos Girl Academy. There was a little something I wanted to ask you about. Do you have time? You a bad un or a good un? From the girls' academy, right? That school's got bad uns and good uns. I'm asking which you are.
I'm not a delinquent, but certainly not an honor student either. What should I say?
Can't say it clearly, eh? Dumb un, maybe. Well, if you're a dumb un, you can't be a bad un, so fine.
She went off. Since she left the door open, does that mean I can come in?
Imagine just casually being called stupid.
But pardon me.
Oh yeah, very dirty.
Huh? I imagined to be crawling with cats, but it's not really like that. But yeah, the smell and all the stains and scratches on the floors and walls, is this the cat's doing? But, where did the cat head go? Guess I'll head up for now. Today's newspaper. And there are reading glasses on top, so she actually does read it.
Oh, she's praying at her son.
There's 2 portraits on the altar, which would be for
her son and Natsume? Oh no, her husband and son.
Are those your husband and son?
Offer a prayer every morning and evening. Done it for decades now.
Do you want me to join you, or?
Don't you worry about it. So now what was it you wanted to ask? It's dinner time, so make it quick and head home.
Yes, you see... Come to think of it, Mrs. Tamura, I heard you kept a lot of cats, but I don't see any.
All went away.
Ah, did the city take them into their care? They'd apparently disputed for a while, so they must have finally intervened. So then, you're alone now. Do you feel lonely?
Sure do. Lost a lot of that what I used to have. But no help for it. Was all my mistake.
Is that so? I suppose there isn't any helping it, but that's unfortunate. After all, Mrs. Tamura, I heard that your cats were precious to you, like your own children.
Not about liking 'em or anything now. Was all my mistake.
What do you mean by that?
Cats are demons. Never knew it all along. Was being deceived the whole time.
Demons?
Cats got those pointy ears, right? Them vestiges of their demon horns. All cats are demons. Leave 'em be, they'll call upon bad things. Son got married, took care of a cat. When he died, it was just me and the cat. Husband already died. Didn't like dumb animals like them. Didn't want to bother with all the feedin' and peein', but I raised it, thinking of it as a memento of my son. Started cuddling up with me and meowing like my son when he was a little un. Started to find him more and more cute. Was lonely without my husband or son, but not no more. Went feedin' strays too, 'cause they were cute, and a lot of 'em started living in my house. They starved to death if I left 'em, so I cared for them. Didn't care about the racket from the neighbors or the city. And a girl from your school came to help out. Taught me how I should do this or that. Said she'd talk it out with the city soon. Looked into all sorts of stuff.
Could she mean Natsume?
But it was all a mistake. Didn't know cats were demons. Cute things, but they deceived me. Even that girl fooled me by keeping quiet. My son's death, that was the cat's fault. Called up bad things, that's why he died before I did. Kept lots of 'em only 'cause I didn't know. Went and fed strays even. That's why I made 'em all go away.
Eh? Was she killing them?
Is that what the smell is? Like dead cats? Yeah.
Are those all the cats you kept in this house?
See a stray around, I strangle 'em too. Strangle 'em, burn 'em, and bury 'em. No burial, they'll come back as monsters.
That's so horrible! To just kill all of them.
So you're a bad un after all. Same as that girl. That girl cried, calling it cruel, so cruel. Cried and told me to stop it, even though she'd been deceiving me. You the same as that girl, sticking up for demons? Think I should be even more misfortunate? Leave. Don't talk with bad uns who will trick me again. Leave right now. Yeah, that is a lot to deal with on your own.
This was it. This was what was troubling Natsume. Natsume, who liked cats, couldn't ignore the cat hag's irresponsible hoarding, so she helped her out. But the cat hag suddenly killing her cats, with the bizarre reasoning of cats are demons who summon bad things. Natsume and the cat hag seemed reasonably friendly even, but she rejected Natsume and didn't listen to her pleas to stop. Something this horrible. I can understand why she couldn't say it to her best friend Hahakigi. Telling her parents would probably just result in her being told not to get involved with a sketchy old lady, especially knowing what they're like. That's why she could only tell it to the counselor. Though it was too much even for her, so it didn't get resolved. Cats are demons? To kill the cat you fawned over because of such an outrageous idea. I just can't believe it. But isn't there something... If the city can interfere if she's being a disruption, can't they interfere because this is animal abuse? Like... Or rather than not believe it, it's so incoherent I can't understand. It's terrifying. Why did the cat hag start to believe cats were demons? Surely she didn't think so back when she was raising them, at least. I thought like Natsume's death was what triggered her into thinking that, but if she was doing it before Natsume died, obviously that's not the case. Is it a symptom of her dementia? But from talking to her, she seems surprisingly normal. I want to know what changed the cat hag's thoughts. What happened to her? But I can't ask her anymore with her acting so threateningly. Should I try questioning people more about the cat hag? But who should I ask? What do I ask? What should I do? How can I know? What can give me a breakthrough? Yasuoka? Did Natsume know something about this, I wonder? Had she figured something out? I was gonna say, I feel like Yasuoka might know something about this. Oh, I have to go home? Oh, am I gonna read the diary? Natsume dealing with the issue of the cat hag all on her own. A worry that couldn't be resolved even by discussing it with the counselor. I'm sure this diary must contain something about it. If I read it, I might learn about the reason for the cat hag's change. Far more than that, I know all about Natsume's other worry and what she was thinking. Up until now, I've worked so hard to investigate and uncover the truth on my own power. So I decided I absolutely wouldn't read this diary. Another person's diary isn't something you should be reading to start with. But as much as I search, uncertainties pop up one after another. I'm just exhausted. All culminating in the cat hag, and if it involves someone as impossible to tell the thoughts of as her, it's beyond my grasp. This diary is a letter Natsume addressed to herself, a precious thing that no one but Natsume should read. I know that well, but I have no other options. This diary is all I can depend on. I'll stoop to being the lowliest human who reads other people's diaries. I want to know the truth no matter what. That's my only driving force, the important feeling that's always remained within me unchanging. So... I'm so sorry, Natsume. I'll be reading your diary. Curse me if you want, despise me if you want, call me a foolish, insensitive, and selfish person. Oh my god, I'm so curious now. That's actually fucked up. Is it gonna let me read the whole thing, or is it just gonna tell me what's important? The reason the cat hag went nuts wasn't mentioned anywhere, so not even Natsume knew. No, but more importantly... Aoi, you okay? You've seemed kinda lifeless all day. I'm fine, just a little tired. How about you take a break sometime? Heard from Bottles you've been working for the club till late. They're showing this movie I bet you'd like, Aoi. A comedy called The Another Guys. Wanna go see it for a change of pace? Thanks, but that's fine. There's somewhere I have to go today. You should go by yourself, Akari, and tell me your thoughts if it's good. I'll watch it later. Oh yeah? Well, I'll be off then. It's good to have a work ethic, but don't overdo it. It seems like weirdly out of character for Akari now, because like Akari was so like I'll stay with you, and now she's just like keeps leaving. Akari? Nothing. Enjoyed the movie. She's too scared to ask her about whatever she knows. Natsume's diary. Sure enough, a person like me who has no history with her shouldn't be the one to have this. There's someone who ought to have this diary far more than me. I need to go hand it over. I feel like now we might be able to talk properly about Natsume. At least I want to try.
Okay, so now we're talking about Yasuoka. I originally thought it would be Sakura, but if we didn't give it to Sakura already, then obviously it's not Sakura. Didn't you say you wouldn't be coming to see me again, Ue?
That was the plan, but something came up that I absolutely had to talk to you about, Yasuoka.
Sorry, but I can't tell you anything more about Shiori. If you want to investigate, ask someone else. And you shouldn't visit me alone. Won't Abe be worried?
I'm on my own right now. I decided I would investigate Natsume alone this time. Akari's not involved. Oh, and it's not like I want to ask you anything, Yasuoka. I just want to talk. Because I might have learned Natsume's secret. I know this is sudden, but I want you to have this, Yasuoka.
Diary.
Shiori's handwriting. So then, when visiting Natsume's house, I found this hidden away by complete coincidence.
You just took it? Without anyone objecting?
Yes.
The lock looks to have been pried open. Did you do that? Did you break it open and read it?
I know I'm the absolute worst for taking someone's diary and reading it. I had reasons for what it's worth, but of course I have no intentions of refusing to admit my faults. I understand I've done a bad thing. If you want to criticize me, I'll let you have at it later. For now, I just want to talk about Natsume.
And what were they, your reasons for having to read Shiori's diary?
In the course of investigating, I learned there were 2 things that were deeply troubling Natsume before she died.
2?
One is the one you know, Yasuoka, and the other has to do with a person called the Cat Hag.
I know of her, an old lady who causes trouble involving cats. Shiori was helping her, I believe. Indeed, Shiori did tell me that she couldn't just ignore the cat hag. As fellow cat lover, she felt sorry for her in numerous ways. But I never heard Shiori say anything about being troubled over her.
I see. So Natsume didn't talk to Yasuoka about the cat hag either. In that case, it's best that I don't say the details either, though he'll know if he reads the diary. Natsume seemed to be worried about the cat hag who she'd been close with, acting strangely all of a sudden. I talked to the cat hag myself, and she was certainly strange. Talking about incomprehensible things, doing horrible things. I had to know no matter what, why the cat hag became that way. But I had no way of knowing, not even a single lead. So I read Natsume's diary, despite knowing it was something I shouldn't read.
And judging from your attitude, the answer was not inside the diary.
Right. I thought Natsume would have known something, but...
I see, you did have reasons of your own. Your feelings of clutching at straws. Well, I can understand those, too. I won't exactly criticize you. This diary belongs to Shiori, so it doesn't make sense for me to get mad about you reading it. You know, Yasuoka's actually kind of level-headed, except when he's not, when he attacked Akari. It's not the cat hag you wanted to talk to me about, was it?
Yeah. Natsume's other worry, the secret she'd been hiding. She wrote a lot about it in the diary. Of course, I wanted to know about the cat hag, but now I'm more curious about that.
Curious? You mean you want to confirm its validity?
No, I'm not about to doubt Natsume's own words addressed to herself. It's just I felt like I couldn't sit still, like I couldn't process it alone.
What did you think, reading the diary and learning Shiori's true feelings?
Honestly, at first, I found it almost anticlimactic. Like, that's all her worry was? It's not that big of an issue, I thought. A bit different from the norm, but really, it's just a commonplace worry. But that's something I can say because I'm a person who's not bound by anything, isn't it? I realized if I had that same concern in a position like Natsume's, it would probably be really difficult. With parents running a big company, a fiancé chosen for you, and above all, a little sister you want to care for. It's occurred to me that in a position like that, I probably wouldn't be able to put my own feelings first. Natsume's desire to not let Sakura know her secret, I can understand it now. If Natsume made her secret public, she'd inevitably dispute with her parents. I can't imagine those parents of hers would respect her feelings. And if that were enough, if Natsume went against her parents, there's no telling what consequences that would have for Sakura. And indeed, they do seem to be trying to use Sakura in place of Natsume now. Like, if the first daughter didn't work, let's try the second. Natsume's judgment in keeping her secret hidden was correct, though it must have been painful. At any rate, I know clearly now what Natsume was thinking and what she was trying to do. The reasons for her actions that had confused me so, what she was trying to do on the rooftop that night. I reached an understanding of everything I hadn't known. They're beating around the bush so much, I just want to know, tell me. And now though it really is late in every sense, I felt so pained by the fact that Natsume died. Natsume dying before she could fulfill her ambitions, it's so vexing. Yasuoka, did you hear anything about Natsume's accident, like from her family, say? I heard about it from Sakura, who she was with at the time, and what happened, but that's all. I see. When I talked to you before, Yasuoka, you were convinced Natsume had killed herself. Now I know why you thought that. You thought Natsume, failed, right? And devastated by that, she took her life. That's what you thought, isn't it? That's right. It seems your guess was half right, as far as I've learned. It was? You mean... Yeah. So I see. Hearing that it wasn't suicide and had just been an accident brought me relief that it had all been a needless worry of mine. But now... I feel upset as well. Though I couldn't sympathize with Shiori, I was rooting for her. I bet Natsume was glad to have you as her ally, Yasuoka. This is just simply curiosity, so I only want you to tell me if you aren't opposed. What kind of relationship was there between you and Natsume? Oh my god, he's in casual clothes. A cafe? After school tomorrow? Yeah, want to have tea together? If not, some other time is fine. That would be fine. Should I come to your school to pick you up? Pick me up? I don't need anything like that. Okay then, Dig's a cafe over in Ryusen. Is Natsume enthusiastic about her marriage to me, I wonder? If so, it'll be hard to say that I have no intention of marrying her. What should I do? Delicious. I just love Mont Blancs. Natsume, is this just a date, or is there something else going on? Why do you think that? Because this cafe is unusually far from our houses and schools. I wonder if you didn't want family or acquaintances to see us. You're sharp. Well then, guess I'll get to the point. Yasuoka, I can't marry you. That's what I wanted to say today. Huh? Oh, it's not like I hate you or anything. It's a much simpler reason than that. So... So that's why I don't want to marry. Not just you, but anybody. I bet you're surprised. Sorry if I made you uncomfortable bringing this up all of a sudden. But if I was going to refuse marriage, I at least wanted you to know why. The truth about why, Yasuoka. It felt unfair to keep silent about it. Telling you is my own sort of integrity. And besides, honestly, you weren't eager to marry me either, were you? Weren't you thinking of refusing? So let's call off this engagement. We can just explain to our parents that I was opposed. I intend to tell my parents what I told you someday, but right now I can't, because it'll make trouble for Sakura. If my parents found out I wasn't going to marry anyone, they'd have Sakura take my place. That's the way they are. Sakura is very precious to me. I want her to do whatever she likes, freely enjoy herself, and be with whoever she likes. Once I'm older and have enough independence, I intend to have a frank talk with my parents. But I have to hold on until then. In any event, I don't want to make you have to endure that with me, because it's my own issue. So please, let's call off our engagement. I'll take special care to avoid any trouble for you, Yasuoka. Thank you for telling me, Natsume. There's something I'd like to say as well. Is that all right? I want you to marry me. What? You were listening to me, right? I know. That's why I want you to marry me, because we're in a similar boat. Huh? Then, Yasuoka, you're... I've never loved anyone. Not in a romantic sense. I can at least imagine what it might feel like to fall for someone, but I can't understand nor sympathize. Oh my god, he's an Arrow Ace King? Arrow Ace King? Just like me, for real, for real? I can't say for sure it'll always be that way, but I get the feeling it will be. That's likely the kind of person I am. Indeed, I meant to refuse marriage too, not because of you. I would refuse no matter who it was. You and I have been put in similar circumstances, such as our parents. If I naively told those people the truth that I wouldn't marry, it would undoubtedly cause a stir. It'd obviously be forced upon me. I figured I would somehow talk my parents into breaking it off, but if that's the way you feel, it changes the situation. Two negatives make a positive, yes? That's more or less what I mean to say. Neither of us has romantic feelings for the other. For that exact reason, could we not join together on a united front? Until such a day we can stand up to our parents head on, I want to take care of you and keep your true feelings from being lost. Marrying me can be your magic cloak, concealing the truth until then. We'll pretend to follow suit so that our parents never even inquire into it. In exchange, I intend to do whatever I please as well. Not that that's anything in particular, of course. Are you okay with that, Yasuoka? Of course I am. I'm the one who proposed it, aren't I? No, I mean, is it okay if it's me? You and I have only talked a few times, right? Do you think of me as someone you can put your trust in? To be perfectly honest, I wasn't even thinking of making this proposal until hearing what you told me just now. But I was glad that you told me your feelings honestly, and I found it amazing. If I were in your shoes, I doubt I'd have the courage to come out about myself. What's more, you opened up about it not for selfish reasons, but out of concern for me. It takes sincerity to do that. That level of sincerity is plenty for me to respect you, Natsume, and like you as a person. If it's possible this could arrive at marriage and we end up living together, I would want to be with someone who could respect. I feel like I could get on well with someone as admirable as you, though of course it's no more than intuition. You can refuse if it displeases you. This is only me asking you to be accomplices in the deceiving the world. But if you aren't opposed, please consider joining hands with me. Yasuoka, you can be surprisingly bold. Extreme almost. To be honest, I thought you seemed kind of unreliable, but I'm taken aback. I get that a lot. Well, will you consider my proposal? Natsume, are you crying? Sorry, it's not like that. I'm just so relieved. It was my first time telling anyone, so I was actually really anxious what I'd do if you reacted poorly. But with you accepting it, Yasuoka, all the tension left me at once. I'm really glad you're thinking about me so seriously. You're much more sincere than me. Thank you. Then I'll say it again. Please marry me, Natsume. They're cute, actually. Yes, they're allies. Though only for a limited time. I'll do my best to not shame you as your partner. I'll be glad to have a relationship of mutual recognition, such that I'd have no regrets even if we do get married. Oh, but for now I'd appreciate your support with my, Of course, I want you to keep at it until you're satisfied. I'll be rooting for you. Okay, I think I was on the right track. I think she was trying to confess to Midori. I never hated or denied myself. I just understand that this is the only way in which I can live. But some part of me was uneasy. Would I never in my life have a bond with someone? That quiet loneliness remained. And then Shiori appeared before me. Shiori and I felt entirely different things, but we had a point in common. Both of us were prone to having to fight against solitude. Perhaps I proposed we join hands because I didn't want to fight the world alone. Maybe it was an underhanded idea that only brought her into my fight. Regardless, we did join hands, to not lose ourselves, even if it meant deceiving others. To both do what we wanted to do, and they stand back to back, because they're watching each other's back. They're allies, they're comrades in arms. Shiori was grateful to me, but I was the one who was truly glad. For the first time, I learned how joyous it could be for yourself to be accepted. Was it a relationship formed only because our interests aligned? I couldn't deny it, but I feel that there was a definite sense of respect and trust between us. I earnestly supported Shiori, though it wasn't something I could understand. I prayed that she would achieve her desire. The reason I supported her, maybe it was because I saw own my future in the one she was heading toward, because the two of us were alike. Ever since Shiori died, a certain feeling has hung around me, powerlessness. I didn't care about anything anymore. With the death of the partner I respected and rooted for, I didn't know what to do. If Shiori could become happy, maybe even I, who felt no love for anyone, could see a ray of hope. I must have been projecting myself on her. I've never hated or denied myself, but I must admit, I felt let down by myself for feeling nothing but powerlessness. After all, I hadn't even shed a tear at Shiori's death.
He's just a cold, emotionless bastard.
You and Abe must have seen me as a person struggling to protect his late fiancé, which wouldn't be incorrect, but I personally think that desperation came from a desire to do away with my own sense of powerlessness. I couldn't do anything while Shiori lived, so I thought I had to at least protect her precious secret. An impure motive, isn't it? Not for Shiori's sake at all. It was strictly to maintain my own peace of mind. I thought I understood myself, to be a dispassionate person, but I can't help but feel disappointed in myself. I've acted trusting only in what I wanted to do, and it produced this result. I even talked Shiori into a sham marriage, saying it was for both our sakes. And there was no point in doing it. Shiori died without being able to achieve what she desired most. I think all the time that I should have died instead of Shiori. Compared to the one who everyone adored, Shiori dying unfulfilled, that would have been far better. Don't say things like that. I don't think you're wrong that Natsume failed, but that's not your fault, is it? If Natsume's best efforts ended in failure, there was no helping that. There's nothing you could do about that. And Natsume's death was a simple accident. It had nothing to do with that failure or her intentions. What would have changed if you had died, Yasuoka? Natsume wouldn't have to suffer? That's not true, right? Don't say you should have died. That's just sad. I don't want to hear that.
I'm sorry for thinking that you were her killer for so long. Yasuoka, my boy.
Sorry. You said you couldn't do anything for Natsume while she was alive, but was she hoping for you to do something, do you think? Just you accepting her secret and giving her support, that made Natsume plenty happy, I bet. And just as you supported Natsume, I'm sure Natsume supported you too. I'm sure there was no helping feeling powerless either. It's nothing to do with you as a person. Because everyone who liked Natsume has been the same way. I've seen lots of people suffering from her loss, so I know. At the very least, I don't think you're a dispassionate person, Yasuoka. In fact, I almost feel the opposite. So don't turn to desperation, don't succumb to darkness, or do anything extreme anymore. That thinking of doing anything to protect Natsume's secret definitely wouldn't make her happy. You think so too, don't you? As Natsume's fiancé, you were right beside her, so surely you know what she'd want for you now. Enough despair. Try to remember. About Natsume. What you talked to her about. If you do, maybe you'll find your answer to whether you should be like this. Yes, perhaps you're right. Shiori told me she would do her best to be a person I wouldn't be ashamed to have as a partner. Shiori was a woman practically too good for the likes of me, yet she approved of me. If Shiori were to know what I did to you, she wouldn't just be very angry, she'd probably scorn me. I can't say I'm suitable for Shiori now, this despairing, dangerous self of mine. Shiori may be gone, but I suppose I should live in a way that won't bring her shame, as her fiancé. Perhaps it's not too late to live keeping in mind what Shiori wanted for me. I think so too, Yasuoka. Thank you, Ue. Talking with you has cleared my head a bit. I'm truly sorry for before. I did something terrible. If you wish, I'm willing to go where you think it appropriate. But what do you think I should do? It wasn't me who got followed after or injured, so I can't really say. But Akari did say it was fine, so if you're reflecting on what you did, I think it's fine. Understood. Then could you tell Abe what I said? Yeah, Akari's been busy lately, so once things settle down, sure. Hey, Yasuoka, this is off topic, but if the Natsume family asked, would you marry Sakura? I wouldn't. I only thought of marrying Shiori because she was Shiori. In general, one shouldn't marry when it's against the other person's will, and I doubt Sakura likes me in the first place. That said, she is Shiori's dear sister, so I do intend to support her in whatever way I'm able. That's good. Ue, have you finished investigating everything to do with Shiori now? Yeah, I think so. There might be nothing left to investigate about her. Although the cat hag, I'm still feeling hazy about that, wondering what in the world happened. But my last ray of hope, Natsume's diary, didn't say anything about it, so I don't know what else I can do. You talked to the cat hag in person, didn't you? Did your conversation not give you any clues? Not at all. All she told me was incomprehensible. Ue, you're very earnest about listening to what people say. I wonder if that's why the words seem to come out so smoothly when talking to you. I just naturally end up saying a lot. Perhaps there's something important you can extract even from your conversation with the cat hag, and you just haven't noticed it. Maybe you should try looking back carefully over what you talked about. There could be a useful hint lurking in there, you know. Look back. A bad one or a good one? She gets something, but I don't understand. I have to go to check about what I just realized. Huh? Sure. Be careful. Sorry for troubling you, but thank you for talking to me. I don't know what I should say, but I'm rooting for you, so don't do anything else dangerous. Well, goodbye. Take care. Ue really is a curious girl. Her emotions are easily affected over other people's circumstances as if they're her own. Does she think she can understand people if she knows them well enough? Maybe that's why she longs to know about others so much. Yet you can never fully understand other people, and it's rare to have a mutual understanding. I worry that someone like Ue could be deeply betrayed someday. I feel sorry for her. No! They're setting up Akari to do something! That's actually so fucked. You cannot do this to me. Alright, time to talk to the cat hag again. Oh wait, this is cafe. I'm gonna go here. Cat hag. You again. I told you I wouldn't speak with bad uns. Be off with you. Wait, Miss Tamamura, I'm begging you, please tell me something. What you said before about cats actually being demons, who call up bad things. Who did you hear that from? Because I mean, before you cared for your cat, so you hadn't heard it at the time. Which means you learned about that later, right? Could it be someone told you? Yup. Was that person what you would call a good un? Because you said that Natsume, or the girl who looked after the cats with you, was a bad one, right? She was deceiving you by not saying that the cats were demons. Is Akari the one that told her the cats are demons? And that's why you thought she was a bad kid? Which would make the person who told you about cats a good kid, right? Am I right? Yep. Was that good kid a student at Cosmos Girl Academy? That's what you said to me at first, that there were good kids and bad kids at that school. Yep. That bad un tricked me, made me care for cats without telling me the truth. Told her I'd strangle them all because they summon up bad, but she told me to stop. Happened a while after that bad girl started to see me. Was on a walk when a good girl came up to talk to me. Made me glad, nodding along to what I said, so I invited her to the house. Girl started to come have tea at my house just after that. Was glad because I had nobody to talk to, just cats. Having cats was fine, but better to have people, I realized. Started to look forward to that girl coming by. One day that girl said she had something that was too hard to say, but she wanted to tell me. I asked her what, and she teaches me cats are demons, that they call up bad things. Told me my son's death, having to live by myself, it was all the cat's fault. That having cats around hurt my relationships with the neighbors. All of it was bad stuff the cats brought about. And you believed that, Mrs. Tamura? That girl wouldn't lie, always listened to what I have to say. My eyes were open thanks to her. So I strangled all the cats. Couldn't afford to let them summon any more bad, so I caught and strangled any that walked by the house. At night, went searching for any nearby. Now the house is all clean. The neighbors calmed down too. Bad kids stopped coming. Something good's sure to come to me again. Mrs. Tamura, what did that bad girl look like? Had long purple hair and a pretty face. The neighbors called her a good girl. Didn't know about that myself. Then what about the good girl? Tall, with short red hair. Haven't seen her since she said she'd be busy and couldn't come by no more. But no news is good news, thinking she's getting on just fine. thought you might be a good girl too, 'cause you listened to me. But just like that bad girl, you stuck up for the demons and blamed me. What do you youngsters know about me? Nothing. Yet you act all uppity. You end up alone, then you'll know how I feel. Now off with you. Don't come again.
Oh my god, Akari, what have you been up to?
Akari.
Bro, no, guys, I literally spent so many episodes gushing over Akari because she was my girl, and they're making her they're making her involved in all this sus stuff.
I've carried on this investigation to know the truth of Natsume's death, yet I've exhausted everything to do with Natsume.
But like my only hope is like this game is about not picking up pieces to make someone into who they are, and like that's what Aoi's doing right now about Akari. So hopefully like there's a logical explanation for everything.
However, now it's Akari, my best friend, who I no longer understand at all. Stealing the letters between Natsume and Hahakigi, aiming to shake Miyuki's self-worth, and worst of all, interacting with the cat hag repeatedly to then feed her nonsense and lead her to dispose of her cats. I knew none of this. Akari didn't tell me anything about it. What did Akari want to do? What was she trying to do? My mind is a mess. I don't get Akari at all anymore, or what I should do. I'll investigate into Akari. If I asked Akari the reason for her actions directly, I don't know whether she'd tell me. She might just dodge my questions. So before I confirm the truth with Akari, I should research as much as I can. It's laughable, huh? Even I'm shocked at how freaked out I am, going to these precautions. But what do you expect? I may not have thought I knew Akari completely, but I didn't think I'd become this unsure about her. Honestly, I'm incredibly reluctant sneaking around to look into my closest friend. But I'm just not able to associate with Akari as if nothing happened while I feel this haziness. I just have to do it. For my future, for myself. I have to look into Akari. I feel like I didn't sleep a wink.
Oh, that was a message. Is it from Akari?
Akari?
Seems like a cold. Taking today off.
You okay?
I'm fine. Tell Kageyama. I'll be there tomorrow.
Take care. I hate that I feel relieved over my own friend being sick. But I mean, I don't know how I should look when I next see Akari. Besides, I'm investigating her today, so it's convenient that Akari's out.
Hey, Ue, you done with the Culture Festival feature yet? I gotta check that over soon. You okay? You look really unwell. Are you feeling sick?
I'm fine, just a little tired.
Sure. Don't push it if it's hard, okay? Seems like Abe's out sick herself.
Let's get started, but who should I ask? I feel like it'd be bad to do too big of an investigation. Everyone knows Akari and I are friends, so they'd probably be dubious. Plus, unlike Natsume, Akari isn't a celebrity or anything. There might not be a point to asking too broad of a group. That said, if limiting my target means I don't get info, there's no point. What should I do? Let's try asking the active clubs, but keep it to second years and adults. Excluding the orchestra club, though, they're probably busy before their upcoming concert, and if I do happen to cause an issue, it'd be big trouble. I mainly want to hear from girls who have been here since junior high. Maybe there's people who can tell me about a side of Akari I don't know. With Akari taking the days off, now's my only chance for questioning. Okay, let's go.
Well, there was also that thing with the suicide that happened in junior high, and I wonder if that affected Akari in some way. Abe, huh? Wouldn't you know best? Well, whatever. She's smart, yeah? She violates the dress code and comes late a lot, but the teachers give it a pass because of her grades. Doesn't Aoi also violate the dress code? She works at the library. Oh, Abe? She seems blunt, but she's surprisingly polite, and I think she's a nice, sensible girl. She diligently serves as a library assistant, too. Do I have more than one question? No. That reminds me, I talked to Abe a bit before the Culture Festival. I said, you're sure friendly with Ue, since you were looking at all that stuff, right? And Abe said she likes you, Ue, because you're amusing to be around. How nice. You said that, Akari? Well, yeah, she's been saying that, though. Not like I really know a lot. In junior high, she always struck me as always on her own, didn't seem to have any friends, but she's always been with you since starting senior high. I was in her class in junior high and she was always alone. I asked if she was lonely and she said not at all. In fact, she's more comfortable that way. She's right, it's pleasant being on your own. I'm looking at a guide in case that isn't clear about the fact that I'm going exactly where I need to go. I was in Abe's class in junior high. Say, did you know Abe hates bugs? Especially butterflies and moss, I hear. Surprising, huh? Well, I knew that. I'm looking at a guide because I'm trying to expedite this process, to be honest. I really just want to know the secret. Abe, huh? Oh, come to think of it, she seemed friendly with her homeroom teacher in second year of junior high. That teacher was a lady fresh out of college and made fruitless efforts to get along with the students. It was honestly kind of annoying. But she'd always talk with Abe in the classroom after school. And that was the one that killed herself. So Abe did have a connection with her. Or, I don't know why, Akari did. What do you mean? See, Abe was friendly with her homeroom teacher in second year of junior high, but she seemed to be a mentally fragile person and ended up hanging herself in a classroom. I'd heard there was a teacher who killed herself at the school, but she was friendly with Akari? Yeah, I imagine Abe was really shocked. I felt bad and worried she might be too traumatized to make friends, like she was always alone afterward. Although, was she typically alone since before befriending that teacher too? I forget. Bro, wait, what if Akari has something to do with the teacher hanging herself too? That would be crazy. I'm getting anxious. I really don't want Akari to be a bad person. Our club does run around the campus, and after a course that goes past the entrance, I'd sometimes see Abe near the shoe cubbies. Really? Did you see what she was doing? I don't know. I figured she was doing something and not going home, because she was still there after a few laps, but it was hard to see in the middle of running. Oh god, Akari. Akari! Oh, there's something I was sort of curious about. I've seen Abe walking around town a few times, but she was with a weird old lady. Surely she isn't a relative. The cat hag, so they did interact numerous times. Oh god, Akari, you got some splaining to do, girl. No. This is no time to stop thinking. I have to consider this. First of all, let's calm down and organize the information so far. Both old information and new, going in order. But she was friends with Hayatani, so obviously, like... It all began with the incident where Shiori Natsume, the most popular girl in school, died by falling from the roof. It was long rumored to be suicide. I, who had no connection to Natsume just out of curiosity, began investigating the truth of Natsume's death. I asked my best friend, Akari Abe, to cooperate with me. She's smart and seemed bored, so I asked her to be my assistant. By investigating with Akari's help, I was able to uncover 5 people with deep connections to Natsume. Her little sister, Sakura Natsume, her fiancé, Sumikazu Yasuoka, Kana Murakami, who was said to be viewed as Natsume as a rival. These 3 had various histories with Natsume, but were proven to have no direct connection to her death. Miyuki Endo, senior in the orchestra club, who Natsume relied on, she also had no connection to the incident of her death. The one who was involved in that incident was her best friend, Midori Hahakigi. She was present when Natsume fell from the rooftop. Hahakigi told us everything, shared the truth with the police and school, and Mai and Akari's investigation ended, in theory. However, I found Natsume and Hahakigi's letters in Akari's room, something she definitely shouldn't have possessed. Prompted by this, I resumed my investigation of Natsume on my own, and was able to identify the 2 issues that deeply troubled her. One was about her inner feelings.
It was a very sensitive issue and not for me to touch on, so I don't intend to delve into it. But the other issue was different, the strange actions of the cat hag who was hoarding cats. She cared for cats alongside Natsume, yet abruptly started killing them en masse, and even rejected Natsume when she told her to stop. The reason for that turn was that Akari got into contact with the cat hag and fed her nonsense, damaging her trust in Natsume. Akari's actions were strange beyond just the case of the cat hag, stealing Natsume and Hakigi's letters, unsettling Miyuki. That's why I decided to investigate Akari. And a new person of interest has come up, a teacher who killed herself in junior high, though I never knew her. That much is easy enough, but it's giving deep thought past this that's really scary. Feels like there's something I shouldn't learn about. My brain's putting a stop on me considering it any more than this. No, I can't be like that. Enough of this weak attitude. I've worked so hard investigating. We need to know the truth. We're so deep in. Let's calm down once more and review the correlation between all the relevant parties. Who had what relationships, whether they were one way or whether they were mutual? I'll look it all over from the start.
Where's this missing piece? There we go. Okay, we're making some progress. Fuck. Keep changing things I don't mean to change. That one. Nope. I want one of those doubly arrows. There we go. Okay, I was like, that actually confused the hell out of me.
Come on, I just can't. After coming this far, I'm trying not to look at what I don't want to see. This won't do. I can't run from the truth of what Akari did to who. I have to confront it. Akari was stealing the precious letters that connected Natsume and Hahakigi. I have evidence and a witness, so this should be undeniably true. Hahakigi was wounded by not getting replies from Natsume. Judging from what Natsume said, it was likely the same for her. In other words, Akari's interference put cracks in these two's relationship. Natsume and Miyuki had a trusted relationship where they supported each other as junior and senior. Save from probable isolation, Miyuki was grateful to Natsume. Also, she was happy to be depended on by her. But Akari dismissed those feelings as reliance on Natsume. She threatened that Miyuki's individuality would vanish, damaging her performances. Feeling crisis looming, Miyuki stepped down as concert mistress and distanced herself from Natsume, resulting in a gulf between them. So the impetus for the destruction of Natsume and Miyuki's trusting relationship was also Akari. And finally, the cat hag. Natsume worried for the irresponsible animal hoarding she was doing and helped care for the cats. Judging from the cat hag's remarks, the two seemed rather close. They both like cats after all. What the fuck is Akari's vendetta against Natsume then? But Natsume wasn't the only one in contact with the cat hag. Akari was too. I don't know how Akari got close to the cat hag, but it really seems like she listened to her rather kindly. The lonely cat hag must have been very glad for that, and that's why she trusted in the nonsense story Akari fed her. Not questioning what Akari said, the cat hag began killing cats, and viewed Natsume with hostility. She rejected her as a bad girl. Natsume was shocked by this. Mr. Fujimura witnessed her feeding a stray cat while crying. Natsume and the cat hag, the one who severed their relation, founded in caring for cats, was also Akari. In short, Akari ended up destroying Natsume's relationships with these three people. What's important here is what objective Akari had in doing such a thing, but looking at these results, I can only think of one thing her goal could have been. To cut Natsume off from those close to her and drive her to loneliness. Until starting the investigation, I had hardly any knowledge of Natsume, her family life, her relationships, but that wasn't true for Akari. Before I even began, Akari had several pieces of information on Natsume. At the very least, Akari must have known about her relationships with Hahakiki, Miyuki, and the cat hag, and she used that information to carry out her objective. That is, to sever the trust between Natsume and those three. I feel like I can gather why she didn't take any action against her sister Sakura or fiancé Yasuoka. Sakura was trying not to get involved with Natsume at school and even declared she hated her sister. So Akari must have viewed Sakura as just Natsume's little sister and didn't count her as close. And Yasuoka, many knew that Natsume had a fiancé, but he had little recognition himself. I was only able to learn as much as I did about Yasuoka because we went over to Iris Academy. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't know. Akari probably had no prior knowledge of Yasuoka, so she did nothing to him, or rather she couldn't do anything. Akari's goal was to break the trusting relationships between Natsume and those close to her, leaving her lonely. If we suppose that, then what's the real goal behind it? What did Akari do that for? There's a worrying theory brewing within me, and if I hadn't investigated Akari, it would never have come to mind. The teacher Akari was close with during junior high, seeming mentally fragile, she hung herself in a classroom. I don't know what kind of association Akari and that teacher had. Did they feel at ease with each other, like me and Akari now? Or was it strictly a student-teacher, slightly friendly relationship? Something doesn't feel right about Akari and that teacher being friendly. According to Mitomi and Umahara, she was a kind of annoying teacher who couldn't get close to students. Well, that's a new teacher for you. Would a person who says she's more comfortable by herself purposely get along affectionately with that type of person? Okay, wait, I actually do want to talk about this. This is, like, we're talking about very serious stuff, so I feel like this is kind of, like, off topic. But, like, as a new teacher, teaching junior high is literally the worst grades to teach. I had a new teacher for my grade 8 class, and we literally made him quit by the end of the year because we just, like we wouldn't, like, I don't want to say, I don't want to say, like, it was all of us because it wasn't, like, you know, there were bad apples. Like, I felt bad for him. And I was like 14, so, you know, like, that's how bad it was. But, like, literally, like, all the other teachers were shit-talking him, saying he couldn't control his class because we were so loud and talking all the time. And, like, yeah, he liked me and I got good grades and we were chill. But, like, we literally made him quit and he wouldn't tell us what school he was going to after he quit because he just, like, we broke him. We really broke him. And that was his first year teaching in actually classroom. And I don't think he's taught middle school since. So, you know. Anyways, especially Akari. She has her supportive side, but she's pretty blunt and hates tedious things. Akari and that teacher definitely wouldn't match, I think. Granted, I can only imagine since I didn't know the teacher, but there had to be some reason Akari and that teacher got along. I can't think otherwise. Now I'm starting to feel like Akari's a sociopath because she just likes watching people do as they please, so she's just probing them into doing what they want to do. So she was bored, basically. In any event, that teacher killed herself, hanging herself in a classroom even. This is this is all just an idea, I know that full well, but what if Akari was doing to her the same thing she did to Natsume? While getting along as someone friendly, acting like nothing was going on, what if she was quietly setting her up for isolation? And the result of driving the teacher to isolation would be her suicide. What if that was Akari's objective? Natsume's death was an accident. There was a witness, and I'm not going to doubt the truth of that now. Oh, my sound just sounded. But even if there hadn't been an accident, there was a significant possibility that Natsume would have died. Her close relationships destroyed. Perhaps she might have come to not care about anything anymore and ended her life herself. After all, Natsume... It's fine if I fall. If it all goes away and I'm at peace, I might prefer that. Just before she fell to her death, she was in such a mental state that she said it's fine if she died. Akari, she was guiding Natsume in a way that no one knew about. Akari's objective was to drive Natsume to suicide. I'm going nuts from overthinking this. It's absurd, I have to admit. There's no way Akari was plotting something as horrifying as making someone die. I mean, when Hahakiki tried to jump to her death, Akari frantically tried to save her, right? Someone like that wouldn't... Was she only trying to save me? If I recall, she did tell Hahakigi, if you want to die, do it alone. Anyway, Akari isn't someone who'd plot a person's death. I can't imagine something that awful. I should know her well, right? I know what kind of person Akari is because I'm with her all the time. Though heck, it's Akari's fault too. Taking all these inexplicable actions, not to mention not telling me anything. I wonder if Akari's cold has gotten better. Will she come to school tomorrow? I don't know how I should face Akari. I feel sorry for having such awful ideas, though it's true I feel uncertain about her. If I ask Akari, she'll clear everything up. After all, I did decide I'd talk to her once I investigated to my satisfaction. But I'm kind of scared of knowing the truth. Of course I have a desire to know the truth, but... If you learn the truth, you'll have to carefully consider if you want to speak it or not. Once you say it, everything changes. You can't be the same as you have been. You should at least recognize that. Depending on the circumstances, I think it's totally valid to keep the truth to yourself and maintain the status quo. That's it. What I'm afraid of is destroying the status quo, destroying my relationship with Akari. Even if my theory is wrong, it's true that I've cast doubt on Akari. If I tell her, I can't act like it didn't happen. And then we might not be able to be the way we have been. We might not be friends anymore. I don't want that. And even supposing my theory is right, in that case, I truly wouldn't know what to do. If it's true Akari was driving Natsume to suicide, Akari and I might have to... Sure enough, maybe I shouldn't say anything to Akari, if I'm worrying this much about it. But as long as I'm in this hazy state, I can't hang out with Akari either way. My emotions show too easily. Ah, geez, what should I do? If I told her my theory, I wonder how Akari would react. Would she laugh, be stunned, get mad? I don't know. I don't know a single thing about Akari anymore. We've always been together. I thought I knew Akari so well. Was that not really remotely the case? Why did we become friends anyway? Was there something that set it off? Us being together is so obvious now I forget. It's no good. I'm completely stuck in a rut. Let's not think about it for a bit. My room's messy. I've been busy lately, so I put off cleaning. Maybe I'll clean to get my mind off things. Okay, I'm saving here, because this is definitely close to the end. What is this? Laundry? Aoi's actually surprisingly very clean. Tell the Dawn? Since when did I have this book? Oh, wait! This is that book I borrowed from Akari forever ago. It took too long reading it and missed my chance to return it. I think I still haven't finished it. Wow, I completely forgot. Actually, wasn't this book what led to me becoming friends with Akari?
I have this like pit in my stomach. Like I'm literally in the same boat as Aoi where I'm just like, no. Hey, Ue, you're new here too, right? Oh, is that Akari? She has like long hair.
Yeah. Sakaki and Yashu Ko, right?
That's right. We transferred from another school too. Buddies. There's fewer of us than I expected. Feels kind of uncomfortable because the girls who were here since junior high have already formed friend groups. So let's get along as fellow transfers. Ue, your first name's Aoi, right? Okay if we call you Aochi?
Sure, that's fine. Nice to know you too, Sakaki and Yashikoa.
And I was able to nab tickets, so I'm going to the concert later. Aochi, Sakaki, you coming with? Yeah, I can't wait. Aochi, you're going too, right?
I wonder. I'm kinda not good with those glittery idol guys.
Well, but that group's such a lineup of hotties. Then what do you like, Aochi? Who are your favorite idols?
Let's see. If you'll take actors, Yoshiro Komine?
Who's that? Never heard of him. What about you, Sakakine? Isn't that a super old dude? That's a little too sophisticated. Don't you like any idols or anything?
Nope, not really interested.
Whoa, really? You're missing out big time. You gotta check out the stars from Joni and Associates.
Sure, if I feel like it.
On a different topic, Ouchie, you've always got that ponytail. Could you try letting your hair down?
Like this?
Ooh, looks good. I always thought it'd suit you to let your hair down, Ouchie. I like this better too. Enough with the ponytail, go with that.
It might be a little annoying. It's easier to tie it up.
What? It's cute though. I'm telling you, it's totally better.
Yeah, well, I'll do that, if you say so.
Ue, there's an eraser on the floor. This yours?
Huh? Oh, yeah, it is. Thanks.
Abe's always by herself, huh? Does she have any friends in class? Who knows? I've never seen her with anybody. She's always reading some book or another. Maybe she doesn't get lonely. Couldn't be me. I get uncomfortable, and people would think I was gloomy. Wonder if Abe doesn't mind that. She probably doesn't, huh? She feels kind of like a lone wolf, but it's not like she's gloomy necessarily. I know. I kind of love her cool attitude. Maybe it's not that she doesn't have friends, she just doesn't make them. Maybe she likes being alone. Yeah, she's totally normal if you talk to her. In fact, she's sort of really easy to talk to. Abe's smart, so I guess that's why she's a good talker too.
Yeah. Having my hair down is pretty annoying. I want to tie it all together. But Sakaki and Yashikawa told me they like this better, so maybe I should roll with it. I've been with those two since I started attending here, but our tastes don't align at all, so it's hard to talk with them. I don't think anything they recommend me is any good. Meanwhile, they don't seem interested in things I think are good. Our tastes are not aligning is one thing, but it's kind of awkward having them push their suggestions on me. Like this hairstyle, in fact. I'm grateful they hang out with me, but it's gotten kind of hard to go along with them. But they're good people, really. They just don't mesh with my personality. It'd probably be fine if I was okay with being alone like Abe, but I'm not, so... Well, what can you do? Getting along with people even if your personalities don't match, that's an important life skill. It's definitely rarer to be able to do whatever you want as you want. I've got to learn that. Feels like it'll be uncomfortable high school life, but I guess I just have to get used to it.
What?
Oh, sorry. I was staring, wasn't I? I was curious what you were reading. A romance novel, huh? I'm a little surprised.
Romance novel? No.
Huh? But isn't the author of that book famous for her romance novels? What's her name? What's her name, Takamura?
Yeah, but this is different. Her romance novels are a bore, but the others are interesting.
Is that right?
Want to read it if you're curious? I'll lend it to you.
What? That's fine. I mean, aren't you in the middle of reading it, Abe?
Nah, I finished it earlier. I got reminded of it lately, so I've just been rereading it.
But I'm a slow reader. I'll be really late to give it back.
Fine by me. It's one I already finished, so take your time reading it. Sorry. Not like I want to put you on the spot. If you're not interested, that's fine.
No, it's okay. I'll take you up on your offer. Thank you, Abe.
Here you go. By the way, Ue, I see you got your hair down lately.
Yeah. Sakaki and Yashikawa told me I look better with it down.
Huh.
What do you think, Abe? Is my hair better down?
I think it's fine either way. It's your hair, do what you like with it. You're not gonna die because of your hairstyle or anything, right? So won't it feel better doing what makes you feel good?
Yeah, you're right. I think so too. Okay, back to the ponytail it is.
They're actually so cute. Like, Aoi was just talking about how lonely high school is going to be because she has to constantly put on a mask, and then she made friends with Abe, who, like, just lets her be who she is.
Abe, good morning. Thanks for lending me that book yesterday.
Don't mention it. Did you read any?
Yeah, but it's more dense than I expected. Sure enough, I think it's going to take a while for me to finish.
Don't worry about it. People read at different speeds. You can give it back anytime.
Thanks. Well then, apologies, but I'll borrow it for a little longer. By the way, could we eat lunch together today? Only if it's okay with you.
Sure.
Huh? Really?
Why?
You're always by yourself, Abe, so I wondered if you like being alone. In which case, I'd be getting in your way.
Won't deny that, but it's not like I hate not being alone. I was thinking I'd like to have a proper talk with you, Ue, so I'm glad for the invitation. So, is the cafeteria fine for lunch?
Yeah, alright, thanks.
Akari's also in uniform fully.
Come to think of it, are you in a club, Abe?
Only the Go Home Club. I hate pointless junk, but I like books, so I'm a library assistant.
I see. I'd like to try a club myself.
Any you're interested in?
Not a club, but an association. The Newspaper Association.
What's that? Everyone gets together and reads newspapers?
No, they make a school paper and report on events and competitions. Apparently there's only 2 third-years in it right now, so if it doesn't get new members, it'll go away next year. I like reading the school paper, and I'm interested in reporting. I'd like to try joining, but...
You aren't gonna?
Yeah, Sakaki and Yashikawa were like, if you join a club, Aoichi, we won't be able to hang out.
I get it, so it's one or the other, huh? What you want to do, or your friends? But ain't that a waste? Having something you want to do, being able to start at any time, and yet not doing anything? I get your friends are important, but it's probably fine to at least give it a shot. You'll figure out soon enough which you should prioritize. You can just make a proper decision then, can't you?
You know, maybe you're right. You never know until you try. Okay, strike while the iron's hot. I'll go talk to the advisor, Mr. Makoto, after school. Hey, Abe, you said you wanted to talk to me. Why is that?
No deep reason. I just kinda thought you might be amusing, Ue.
Amusing? What about me?
The way your expressions are always changing, your clumsy movements. I don't get tired of watching it. You're like a little animal.
That's detailed. Don't tell me you've been observing me that thoroughly. But I'm glad you care about me. I wanted to talk to you too, Abe.
To me? Why?
Though you're by yourself, you're always owning it. I thought you looked cool. Maybe it's because I'm a coward who gets nervous by herself. I feel kinda envious. So I wanted to have a good talk with you. I'm glad I spoke up. It's always worth trying.
You're overestimating me. I just don't like hassle. I'm more comfortable alone because I don't have to worry about others and I can do what I like, though that means less enjoyment. Getting along with friends at schools results in stuff like obligations. That's a pain in the butt. Incidentally, I hate being bored. Similar, people getting together feels boring, so I don't like it. Somewhat amusing, though, sure. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be restrained, and of course, I don't want to limit someone else's actions. Thinking like that, I naturally ended up alone. There's nothing cool about it. It's effectively just selfishness.
True. There are a lot of girls who maintain togetherness superficially, like by doing the same things together. But I thought that was just the fate of school life, especially at a girls' school. Just figured it was like that. If I had to say, though, I'd like to do what I like, and I'd want my friends to do the same.
Same as me, huh? You seem kinda uncomfortable as you are, Ue. Though, since you got friends, I doubt you're lonely.
Yeah, that's true. Friends who recognize and respect what the other wants to do, who enjoy just being together. I think that might be my ideal, but it's not so easy to find someone that convenient.
Well, what happens, happens. 3 years of senior high's a blink, so no need to get worked up. You know what? I really don't think that Akari had any malicious intentions. I think she was just letting people do what they wanted to do.
Thanks for today. It was a lot of fun. It was actually my first time eating lunch in the cafeteria, too. Say, how about we eat together tomorrow, too? If that's okay with you, Abe.
But like honestly, that might just be me being like just wanting to see the best in Akari because like I love her. Sure. Tell me how the newspaper association thing went. I'm curious. Yeah. Cuz like I love her so much and I like don't want to think of her in any negative light. And like I know like people even like people who are good people do bad things. That's right. This book kicked it off. So it's entirely possible that she did do something as terrible as driving two people to suicide, but I just don't want to think that of her. From the day we ate lunch together, I started to talk more with Akari. During our break time and after school, we somehow ended up together. We never made a verbal promise to become friends. We didn't come to a decision to go to a first name basis. We naturally ended up that way. That made me very happy. Akari never limits me. She watches me do as I please, always supporting. Maybe that's why I feel as if Akari wants me to act like myself. And I thought the same about Akari because I liked Akari's dedication to being herself. We've always let each other do whatever we please. Being together in that way is so much fun. Akari really is my ideal friend. That's exactly why I'm so scared I might lose my relationship with Akari. I can't run anymore. I need to make up my mind already. Do I be frank with Akari about the theory I arrived at, clear everything up, and leave the rest to destiny? Or else do I forget it all happened, act like nothing happened, and get along with Akari as friends like before? The important thing here is which do I absolutely refuse to give up? Staying true to myself or my relationship with Akari? Guys, we're going to have to ask Akari about it first because I need to know. We're going to save. I'm going to do both endings, or I'm going to do both scenarios to see. But first, we're going to ask Akari.
This novel, I've been borrowing it for a long time, but I still haven't finished it. Since I borrowed it, I'd like to read it to the end, but I suppose I should return it soon enough, huh? It's not just this book, is it? There's a lot more I owe to Akari. She's always given me advice, saved me in dangerous situations. Akari's always supported me. Even my continuing the investigation until the very end is thanks to Akari being my emotional support. You could honestly say that the answer I've arrived at is one Akari searched for with me. Because of that, I feel like acting like none of it happened would be rude to Akari, who supported me all this time. Maybe along with this book, I should pay back all the other things I've gotten from Akari. Speaking truthfully about all the things I've gleaned might be the best show of sincerity for myself and to Akari. Even if the answers I've reached makes Akari out as a villain. But I still don't know how this book ends. If I give it back to Akari, I won't be able to read the rest. I could read it if I wanted, but I might lose all desire to read the rest after this. Because if my relationship with Akari changes, I probably won't even want to consider reading the rest anymore. What do I do? Should I return this book, or should I keep loaning it out?
Okay, we're going to give it back to Akari because I feel like that's the route for getting the information.
How are you feeling? Coming to school tomorrow?
I'm better, so yeah.
Can you stay after school? I want to talk.
Fine by me. Alright, we're getting deets.
Morning, Akari. Are you feeling better now?
I'm fine. Just seemed to be a cold. Not like I had a fever or anything. So what'd you want to talk about? Something you just have to wait till after school to say?
Yeah, I want to talk calmly, just between the two of us. Thus, after school in the social studies room.
But Bottles is there. That okay?
Bottles is off today. He left me the key to the social studies room so we can go in. By the way, I want to copy my notes from yesterday? We learned about what'd be on the economics exam.
Term exams, huh? That's right, there was that. Nah, I'm good on notes.
You sure? You won't be able to study for the exam.
I'm fine. And anyway, I'm super tired. Fine if I sleep till class starts?
Sure. Have a nice nap.
Dies.
Weird. Well, Akari is smart, so I guess she's okay without having to study too hard. Am I stupid or what? This isn't the time to be worrying about Akari.
Bro, I've been worried about Akari this whole time, man. Please be okay, Akari. You're late, huh? What were you up to?
Just had to use the bathroom. Sorry for making you wait.
Wasn't waiting that long, it's fine. So what's this about?
So I have something to return to you, Akari. Do you remember this book?
Thought I lost that, but I did lend it to you, huh? That brings me back.
Sorry for borrowing it for so long, but I'm giving it back here and now.
I'm fine just letting you keep it, really. But hey, if you say so, I'll accept it.
And there's something else I want to return to you.
What?
All the debts I owe you. I don't want to return the favor for helping me with the Natsume investigation. By telling you all about what I investigated and the conclusion I arrived at. Akari, you tried to ensnare Natsume without getting your own hands dirty. You tried to isolate Natsume by severing her relationships with the people close to her. Isn't that right? Her best friend Hahakigi, her dependable senior Miyuki, the cat hag who she cared for cats with. 3 people who Natsume strongly depended on emotionally. You engineered the collapse of their relationships with Natsume. Fostering distrust of Natsume, instilling the idea that associating with Natsume was a bad thing, but all done indirectly. Your objective was to isolate Natsume and drive her to suicide, wasn't it? Like you did to the teacher you befriended in junior high. Natsume falling to her death may have been an accident, but there was plenty of possibility for her to purposely kill herself. That possibility was something you intentionally manufactured, Akari. That was your aim. This is the answer I've arrived at from investigating this myself. I also intend to tell you the process by which I got to this conclusion, but honestly, I have no confidence that it's correct. There's so much I want to ask you, so much I want to say to you, but before that, I want an answer. I want you to clearly tell me whether my theory is right or wrong. If I'm wrong, you can get mad at me. You can laugh me off. You can punch me right in the face. So, I want to hear the truth right from your mouth, Akari.
I let you talk without interruption since you were being so serious, but do you know what you're saying? Maybe I could understand a tiny bit more if you told me your process, but that's not the issue now, is it? And heck, I'm shocked. Like, seriously so. You saw me as someone who'd ensnare another person, who'd play with a person's life. What was our friendship up to now? What did you see in me? Hearing something like that from you, more than anyone else, honestly, it's rough.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, Akari. It's not like I was actually looking at you that way. This is just a conclusion that came from my investigation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. I'm kidding.
Huh?
That's amazing, Aoi. Finding out that much yourself? I'm impressed. That's the hard work of the newspaper association for you. I bet Bottles will be happy too, seeing how much you've grown.
Hang on. You mean my theory was accurate?
Yep, that's right. More or less. More so when it comes to Natsume.
Why? Getting her to kill herself? Why did you do something like that? What did you have against Natsume? And not just Natsume, your junior high teacher too. Was there something going on there that you wanted her to die?
Let's see. If I had to name something, I guess it's because I was bored.
Akari. Bored? Surely you didn't really push people toward death for a reason like that.
Well, look. Haven't I told you before? I hate things that are a hassle, but I also hate to be bored. Cornering Natsume was just to stave off the boredom. Though she died before that could bear fruit.
Please tell me the truth, all of it, so that I can understand.
Sure thing, but I don't know if telling you everything will let you understand, you know? First of all, guess we'll start with the junior high teacher. From the get-go, I have to point out where you got it wrong, Aoi. I didn't drive her to isolation. She was just alone from the start. As a brand new teacher, freshly graduated from college, on top of being very nervous and fragile, she was super depressed. Maybe the stress of dealing with cheeky junior high girls day in and day out really got to her. Not like it's any of my business. Then for some reason, she got her eye on me and started hanging around me a bunch, like after school. Just being followed around like that would be one thing, but she used me as an outlet for non-stop complaining. I hate the students, I hate the teachers, I can't get friends or a boyfriend, I can't rely on my family. I should have never been a teacher, I want to quit this job, I just hate everything, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. She'd complain at me like that every day. It was super annoying, let me tell you, when I'm just an ordinary student.
Akari, what did you do to her?
Nothing. I just affirmed her. If you say you want to die, then sure, why don't you die? She kept saying it, I kept affirming it. It just went on repeating like that.
That's it? She really died just from doing that?
Yep, she did. And in the classroom too. Just how much did she hate school? Or else maybe it was an insinuation against me. I listened to her complaints, but I didn't offer any consolation. Well, so basically, I didn't aim to make that teacher die. She just died on her own.
How were that teacher and Natsume connected?
No connection whatsoever. Interacting with that teacher was less out of boredom, more because I couldn't get out of it. That teacher's death only stuck with me as an experience, though it came in handy for later.
An experience? Came in handy?
Well, next is Natsume. Incidentally, I wasn't specifically aiming to make Natsume kill herself. I just wanted to see the idol fall from her pedestal and crumble. Didn't particularly care what form that collapse took. Suicide, whatever. Just as long as I could cause something big, that was enough.
Something big?
You know that block stacking game? The one where you pull out pieces from the stack one at a time and whoever makes it collapse loses? Sure, if you're the one who causes it, you lose. But it's predicted on the fact it'll ultimately collapse, see? If it didn't, it'd never end, right? It's a game where the fun is having it all collapse and making a mess, and laughing like, there it goes. It's the same as that. Taking out the pieces that made up Shiori Natsume one by one until she collapsed, and watching the result in clamor. That's the sort of fun diversion it was. So one of the forms of the collapse, I imagine, was what that teacher did. That is, suicide. I'd seen for myself what sort of situation a person had to be to do such a thing. I thought I'd put it into practice. That teacher went and cornered herself, but Natsume always had people around. Didn't seem likely she'd end up alone. But if you took a peek inside, Natsume was real close to loneliness. Though many people accompanied her, she opened her heart to very few. So first I decided to cut off Natsume off from those few people. Thinking if I did that, would she make the same choice as that teacher? But it's not like Natsume killing herself was a clear goal or anything. The two had different personalities. Wouldn't necessarily respond the same. I would have been fine with anything just as long as Natsume caused some big stir, like I said before.
You targeted Natsume because she was everyone's idol? Is that really all? Or did you have some grudge?
None at all, and that's exactly why I picked her. Another place where my experience with that teacher proved useful.
What do you mean?
When that teacher died, the police questioned the heck out of me since I was the only person she was close with. That was a massive pain. I got fed up with it. I deeply regretted ever getting involved with someone like her. So when I considered who to play with, I decided I definitely wouldn't pick someone I was close to. It caused too much damage. It caused damage to me, too. If we had absolutely no connection, the shards from the collapse wouldn't reach me no matter what happened, letting me be a safe third party. Furthermore, I wanted them to have the attention of lots of people, so that the collapse caused a big clamor, which I could then enjoy. Natsume was a perfect fit for all those requirements. That's my only reason for picking her.
When did you decide to ensnare Natsume?
About half a year ago. Used about a month to gather intel, since I had absolutely no knowledge of Natsume.
So before I began investigating Natsume, you were investigating her alone?
Less investigating, more observing. I don't do tedious stuff like going around questioning everybody. It draws attention, too.
Observing, that's all?
Sorry to say this to you after your steady investigation, Allie, but there's a lot you can know about someone like Natsume just by watching. Though she had lots of people around, she didn't let her guard down one bit. It was blatantly obvious she had a barrier up as she smiled politely. In my observation, the only ones I felt Natsume let her guard down around were Hahakigi and Miyuki. Natsume purposefully didn't talk to Hahakigi around other people. I bet she was trying to show something like, we're friends that understand each other even without words. Though Natsume's doing that seemed to make Hahakigi uneasy. Well, whatever. Because of that, I knew right away that Hahakigi was important to Natsume. And also, Miyuki. Natsume and her often came to the library together. I used the library a lot, so I saw them plenty of times. Natsume depended on Miyuki a lot, didn't even care about people seeing it. Must have adored her quite a bit. Incidentally, I learned about the Natsume and the cat hag's relationship by happening to see them around town. Honestly, I was shocked. I didn't know the cat hag at all myself, so I tried approaching her myself. Didn't want her being an oddball, and while she was easy to deal with. If you just say something nutty to someone who's already nutty, you can get on their wavelength. So yeah, going basically like that, I figured I'd do something about those three who Natsume especially valued. But your investigation let you learn about Sakura and Yasuoka in depth, yeah? Honestly, felt like I'd missed out. If I'd been aware of those two sooner, there could have been much more efficient ways to go about it.
Akari, did you know that Natsumi,
If you mean Natsume's secret that Yasuoka was hiding, I actually don't know. Of course, I had a guess. I just didn't have full confidence in it. And I didn't tell you because I felt like it'd shock you. That's the reason I dared to do a thing like that, despite not wanting to draw attention at school. Judging from your reaction, Aoi, seems maybe my theory wasn't necessarily wrong.
This isn't right. I can't comprehend it at all. How can you be so calm? What you did deeply hurt Natsume. Natsume died, you know. Don't you feel any guilt?
I wasn't close to Natsume at all. It's you being so attached to her that I can't understand, Aoi. And you can talk about guilt, but Natsume died from an accident, so who even knows if my provoking was effective or not? I had no contact with Natsume and no interest in her to start with. Don't really think anything of it, whether she's alive or not.
No interest? But you said you observed her and gathered information.
Nah, I really had no interest. Even my information gathering was only the bare minimum. You don't research every little detail when you kick a pebble on the road, right? It's the same thing. I had no attachment to her. I just wanted to enjoy the chaos that ensued from the idol falling. I had no feelings for the idol herself.
When I said I would investigate Natsume, didn't you think anything of it? And you didn't tell me anything, even though you knew all sorts of things about Natsume from your own research.
I like you, Aoi, and I like watching you do as you please. That's why I didn't want to stop you from investigating that Natsume incident, and I had no right to. And investigating it on your own power felt meaningful, right? Even supposing I did help, I didn't want to interfere too much. And yeah, I did lightly tell you about Hahakiki, Miyuki, and the cat hag, didn't I? Figured that much would be fine. And also, I myself had no clue why Natsume died. A suicide, an accident, a murder. As unstable as Natsume was, I couldn't imagine her killing herself just from the level of meddling I did. Felt strange to me. I figured if your investigation could explain the truth of her death, that could be amusing too, so I decided to help out. But see, what you wanted to do and what I wanted to do were different beasts. Not just different, exact opposite. I wanted to make that idol fall. You wanted to gather its shattered pieces and try to restore it. I would have been fine telling you about what I did, but our goals were too incompatible. Would have inevitably gone sour. As we can see right now, I didn't say anything because I knew for sure it would be a pain. But that was for the best, right? We each do what we like, we respect each other's freedom, that's always been our stance. There's no need for us to say every little detail about what we want to do. Saying it doesn't mean you can understand people's true intentions. Or else, should I have discussed every little thing I wanted to do with you and gotten your opinion? No keeping secrets, opening up about everything, having a deep understanding, needing to be united. Is that the sort of confining relationship you wanted, Aoi? All I wanted to do was shake the pedestal that idol was on. What's more, that alone didn't make the idol fall. While I was going and looking into how I might get her to fall, whoops, off she went. Honestly, it was anticlimactic. She sat on the fence on the rooftop, stumbled when getting up, and fell. In short, truly just an accident, no connection to me. I don't have any guilt, and I thoroughly don't care. Now that Natsume's passed, those are my honest feelings. So, what do you think, Aoi, hearing all this? If you want to say something, I'm all ears.
As many excuses as you make, Akari, I just can't understand. I don't think I can justify hurting people for your own enjoyment, and I don't think anyone ever should. Even if it's my best friend who did it. It's true I wasn't close with Natsume. She might not even been aware I existed. But I just sort of looked up to Natsume. Just sort of liked Natsume. It was a bandwagon-like feeling, like people looking up to a pop idol. Even me, starting my investigation into her death was just curiosity. Back then, when I recognized Natsume as just an idol, maybe I would have forgiven you, Akari. But since then, I've learned about Natsume, the human being. Suffering from the gap between herself and others, worrying over little things, becoming fond of people, wanting to cling to people. I learned about the life-size Natsume, who was just a regular high schooler like myself. Natsume isn't just an idol to me anymore. She's Shiori Natsume, a human. And that's exactly why I can't forgive you for trying to ensnare Natsume, Akari. I think of you as a friend, and I want to continue being friends, so I'll say it loud and clear. What you did was horrible. You can't hurt and play with people. Call me a hypocrite if you want. I just can't accept that. I wanted to let you do what you want. I didn't want to tie you down. I still feel that way now. But there are limits to what you want. In a humane sense, there are things you shouldn't do. Natsume was crying, feeding a stray cat quietly so that no one would see her. That's the result of what you did, Akari. You hurt a person and made her weep. Do you really not feel the slightest bit sorry toward Natsume? I want to believe that's a lie. I'm criticizing you as your friend, Akari. I want you to reflect. If you don't, I can't be friends with you anymore.
Sorry, Aoi. I knew as much, but I upset you. With the way you are, no chance you'll forgive me. But I'm not expecting forgiveness. Whether you forgive me or not is up to you, Aoi. Besides, I don't want to give a completely superficial apology. I can't say something I'm not thinking, especially not to you. That's why our relationship ends here. Relax, though. Things won't get awkward, because I won't be showing myself around you again.
Huh?
I'm quitting school. Today's my last day of attendance. Too bad Bottles isn't here. I do owe him, so I wanted to at least give him a goodbye.
Why? Why are you quitting school? Are you going to another one?
Do you need to know? We're not going to meet again. Well, fine. Truth is, my parents are moving overseas. I decided to come with. Going to a Japanese college seemed boring anyhow. Figured I'd go to school over there, maybe go on to get a job. Man, have I been busy with cleaning and preparations these last few days. Appreciate you leaving me be, Aoi. Oh yeah, I had Kageyama keep quiet about it. Looks like he actually kept his word. Who's Kageyama again? Was like, I don't like mushy farewell, so please don't tell anyone. Oh yeah, the homeroom teacher! That's why she kept going to see him. Told him I'd tell my friends myself.
Since when? When did you decide you were quitting school?
Half a year ago, around the same time I resolved to kill some time with Natsume. In other words, Natsume was my last bit of fun before leaving Japan behind. Sort of like a fireworks last hurrah. What I did ended up being futile, but I'm glad I got to learn a bunch of stuff thanks to you, Aoi. I had a pretty enjoyable time. So then, I won't be in contact with you ever again, Aoi. I'm canceling my phone plan and deleting my social media. That way's best, right? Rather than having an iffy connection to someone who did something you can't forgive. It's probably for the best that you return this book, too. Would be terrible if it reminded you of me. Oh, right. I've got some stuff in those shelves, so I'll be picking it all up. Excuse me. I gotta say, I'm glad you made it in time, Aoi. Would have hurt to go without telling you the truth. Since it's the last time, could I ask you while I'm here? Did Miyuki tell you when I said to her? What I said? Did the cat hag tell you what I whispered in her ear? When you saw Natsume and Hahakigi's letters in my room, what did you think, Aoi? I've got no interest in the falling idol herself. What she was thinking, who cares? But once I found myself standing there watching, I got to see a real amusing sight. Goodbye, Aoi. I'll treasure that look on your face the rest of my life. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, you're already here? Feels like it's been a while. Had 3 days off and all. By the way, you've got to have the cultural festival article done now, right? Give me here, I'll check it. Ue, you listening? Is she gonna quit?
Bottles, take this.
Resignation? Did something happen? Abe? No way. She did all that, huh?
I was just a third party who had no connection to Natsume. That's why I thought I could investigate calmly while people watched. I didn't feel even slightly afraid about knowing the truth. Akari told me if we publicized the truth, we'd learned we would become connected to the Natsume incident. That it was possible doing that later could cause problems. That doing that could cause problems for us later. She asked if I was prepared for that. I told Akari that I would fulfill my minimum duty as an indictor, and I was indeed prepared to do that. But I had only the naive perception that it would be someone else's business. I never imagined that it would cause this for me. From when Akari revealed the truth to when she left this room, it really went by in a blink. I could hardly say anything, I was just too shocked. I should have expressed my feelings to Akari better. I don't want you to go, I couldn't even say that. I can't do this anymore. That last look on Akari's face, I can't get it out of my head. If I hadn't investigated Natsume, I wouldn't have needed to have the worst goodbye with Akari. If I knew it'd mean parting from my best friend like this, I never would have wanted to know the truth. There was no point in knowing, there was nothing I could have changed. I don't want to remember what happened ever again, and I don't want to think about Akari. I hate it. Now I want to find some comfort, but if I'm in the newspaper association, it'll just remind me of bad things. So, I'm sorry, Bottles.
Abe is dead, you know.
What?
The Abe you knew, your best friend, Abe, she's dead. Never meeting again and dying. Sure, there's a big difference there, but they're the same in that. You can't do a thing about it. So don't you think it's a little easier to let go if you think of it as her being dead, even if it's kinda extreme? In my opinion, you can't heal the sadness of losing someone unless you meet someone who can take their place. When you're alone, you get thinking and can't get out of the bog. That's the last thing you want. You're still young, so I'm sure you'll meet somebody you can build a good relationship with, as long as you look for them. So until then, just gotta endure, thinking of Abe as dead, 'cause there's nothing you can do. Abe leaving you was her own decision, right? And she also decided how she was gonna leave you. That means she chose to make your parting, which was entirely up to her own discretion, the worst one possible. Could be she saw that as a kindness. Parting with somebody you hate won't stick with you long. I'd like to think. I saw you two fairly well, and Abe seemed pretty fond of you. Can't imagine she had any ill will toward you. Course, that doesn't make what she did forgivable. Maybe she aired all her dirty truths when leaving so that you wouldn't be sad about the parting. Made you hate her on purpose. Course, I can say all I want, but there's no way to know what Abe was thinking. Well, it's all about perspective. No need to regret splitting up over an argument. Couldn't do anything about it. You were no match for her. Maybe you regret even being friends with Abe at all, but there's no mistaking it that you had fun memories, right? So then treasure those. Value the fun times. Forget about the bad. Shove it out of your head. No point in holding on to bad memories of someone who's dead. Just keep the ones you can look back on happily. Just living with the regret of loss from day to day is hard enough. You've seen plenty of that yourself, haven't you?
Is it really fine to just do that?
It's fine. At least that's how I've managed. When you go over 30 years as a guy who can't get a date, sometimes you gotta think that way to get by. One of those sneaky life skills adults pick up on. That's the sole advice I can give as a hopeless guy my age. And also, one more bit of advice. It's about this resignation. It's not good to make big decisions when you're super down, you know. You usually come to regret it. You're not calm right now. Until you can objectively look back on what's happened to you, how about you put quitting on hold? Luckily, you're the only member of the newspaper association, so we've got no competition plans. No need to rush to a decision.
But
Well, that's my official stance. But honestly, I'd be in a pickle if you quit right this instant. I'm incredibly shy.
what do you mean?
Don't you think it's a little too soon to say for certain that your achievement was meaningless? Oh, you can come in.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Makoto, Ue-senpai.
I'm sure you know her well, but I'll introduce you. This here's prospective Newspaper Association club member Sakura Natsume.
Right, I look forward to working with you both. Why, Sakura? The two of you investigating my sister's death finally made me feel like I could move forward. Learning the truth is a very scary thing, so I never had that courage. But I've come to feel that knowing the truth is also a very important thing because of this. It's thanks to you two that I feel this way. I'm forever grateful. I want to be someone who can properly see through to the truth of things. Like Ue-senpai and Abe-senpai, I want to be able to investigate things on my own. Observe the nature of things and make a judgment. So I thought I'd like to learn that skill with the newspaper association. If I do, I feel like I can be like you two.
That's the spirit, Natsume. There's loads of adults who can't see through to what's important. Training that now is essential.
Huh? Come to think of it, you aren't with Abe-senpai today.
Abe had some things come up, so she's dropped out of school, as of Friday last week.
Huh? Did she really? That's a shame. Abe-senpai encouraged me, so I wanted to thank her properly.
Don't worry about it. Besides, she wasn't a member of the newspaper association anyway. Just thank her if you get a chance to meet someday. Might see her around soon enough.
You're right. It's a little lonely, but I just have to get past it. I'd like to give my best efforts contributing here from now on. Oh, but I'll still be on the tennis team, so I'll only be able to come here when I have days off there.
Sure, totally fine. You can just do it whenever you can spare the time. And if there's anything you want to know, ask away at Ue. She knows way more than me about what we do here. So yeah, counting on you, Ue-senpai.
Thank you so much, Ue-senpai. I'm glad I finished signing up before the day was over. Tomorrow's Friday, meaning I have tennis off, so I can get right to work. I hope you'll give me your support. You don't have to be that eager. You're busy, Sakura, so feel free to take it easy. No, I'm just excited to be able to work with you, Ue-senpai. Well, I'll get back to tennis now. I just slipped away for a bit to get signed up. Good luck. I'm going home today, so bye. Ue-senpai. I'm sure you're lonely without Abe-senpai, but please cheer up, okay? I know I can't replace Abe-senpai, but I'll do my very best for the newspaper association. Thanks, Sakura. Well, see you tomorrow. Yes, good work today.
Bro, ignorance is bliss really was that ending. I actually genuinely wish I never played this. Because I did not want to know that about Akari.
Sakura's got the wrong idea. I don't see through to the truth of things at all. In fact, the opposite. By learning the truth, I'm just bewildered by the size of what I've discovered. Plus, I haven't told Sakura everything that happened to Natsume. In fact, I absolutely can't. I should never reveal the truth to a girl who was so delighted that her sister didn't die full of despair. Will I be able to get on with Sakura keeping a secret like this? Maybe I should have just quit no matter what people said. But it'd be rude to reject her looking up to me that much. I wonder if Akari felt pained keeping secrets like this while being with me. Akari said she liked me, but now I don't know anymore. Maybe the truth was different. Akari being friendly to me as I thoughtlessly and comfortably looked up to her. Her confessing everything at the end and leaving as a villain. If those things were Akari's kindness like Bottle said, maybe I should be thankful. But I can't separate things out so easily. Even supposing Akari was a bad person at her core, I still really like her. And now she's gone away. There was 2 idols before me. One was Shiori Natsume, a figure admired by many, not just myself. I began investigating Natsume, and instigated by her falling to her death, resulting in her no longer being an idol to me. Natsume was a human who suffered, tied up to the top of a pedestal. She was a tragic person who met her end without ever fulfilling her desire. I'm sure I'll never forget that human Natsume. Whenever I recall Natsume from now on, I'll pray for happiness in her next life. The same surely goes for those who she was close to. They can't forget their memories with her. They can't forget how they felt about her, even if those things were sorrowful. Let those feelings we feel make a rainbow of flowers, offered in mourning to Natsume. To wish for that is the only thing I can do. The other idol within me was Akari. We were ideal friends, respecting each other. Without even realizing it myself, I had enshrined Akari on a pedestal. And Akari kicked her pedestal, falling before my eyes. What did Akari see in the moment she fell and crumbled to pieces? Had Akari jumped off her pedestal, waiting to see that sight for herself? Is Akari's fractured face smiling? Or else... I don't know anything anymore. I'm unable to search for the truth. All that I'm left with now is a pedestal without an idol.
I'm genuinely so fucking sad.
What did I hope to do by knowing the truth? What did I want? Even if I stayed true to what I wanted to do, I got nothing from it.
Even if it means your idol falling off her pedestal and crumbling, do you want to know the truth? Miss Ue, please don't lose sight of what is most important to you and what your heart tells you to do. I've acted trusting only in what I wanted to do, and it produced this result. If a person chose to disappear of their own volition, I have to respect that decision, all the more so if they were important to me. Nothing but regrets swirl around in my head, but as much as I consider it, there's only one thing that's certain. Abe is dead, you know.
I know. There is one thing I learned from it. The one true thing left me now, it's... Poor girl. In the autumn of 2013, someone irreplaceable to me died.
Oh my god, she was referring to Akari. I literally said that I felt like she was referring to Akari the whole time, and I thought that something bad was gonna happen to Akari, but it literally was that Akari was dead to her because of what she did. Holy shit, bro, this game is nuts. Like, I'm genuinely so... like, goddamn. I'm actually so sad, because, like, Akari actually was, like, my favorite character, and, like, I put her on a pedestal, too, and she just wasn't who I thought she was. let's see these statues. Kari's gone. Aoi. With the snake. I don't remember what it was before. Shiori's there. Midori. Sakura. Miyuki with the mask. Kana. And then this must be, yeah, Shimikazu. That's so fucking sad. Oh my god. Okay, but I was gonna say, we're gonna see the other ending. Aoi?
Morning, Akari. Are you feeling better now?
I'm fine. Just seemed to be a cold. Not like I had a fever or anything. So what were you doing over there? Were you waiting for me?
No, nothing like that. Oh yeah, I was waiting. I wanted to see your face right away.
The heck? Well, that's creepy. Not like we're lovers or something.
Don't be like that. I was just worried for you. Akari, can I say something? Do you remember how a long time ago you let me borrow a book? That novel, Tell the Dawn.
Oh yeah, I did lend that to you, huh? Totally forgot about it.
Well, so did I actually, but I remembered yesterday, and how that book was what led us to becoming friends. I still haven't finished that book. I feel terrible about it since I borrowed it so long. So, is it okay if I keep it a little while longer? Since I borrowed it, I'd like to read it through to the end.
Fine by me. Basically forgot it even existed myself. I'm fine with just giving it to you rather than lending it out.
That's good. After all, I won't be able to give it back.
The heck does that mean? Well, whatever. You can give it back whenever. Do what you want.
Thanks. I'll take you up on that and take my time reading it.
Nothing else you want to say to me?
Huh? Nah, that's all.
I see. Wanted to say, good work. Seems you've been real busy lately, Aoi. You want to go get some tea somewhere after school today? Been a while, so let's relax.
Yeah, let's.
It's my treat. Might be a little late, but we gotta celebrate the Newspaper Association's great achievement.
That's fine, really. I mean, you helped lots yourself, Akari.
To tell the truth, there's something I want to talk to you about, so just accept the generosity. It's my thanks for associating with me.
What do you want to talk about?
That can wait till after school. If you heard it now, you'd be so shocked you couldn't even handle your classes.
That's kind of scary. A good kind of shocked or a bad kind?
Who could say? Well, let's go. I don't want to be late today.
Hey, Akari! It's for the best, huh? I'm sure I'll forget about these uneasy feelings soon. This haziness is only temporary. Being with Akari is so much fun. I'll forget about any bad things before I know it. Even if I stay true to myself, I don't see a point in doing that if Akari isn't at the end of it. Because Akari's my best friend. And I want Akari and I to always be friends.
Guys, I'm literally so sad. Ending 2-3. Leave my idol be. I was gonna say, I wonder if that puts the pedestals back as they were, or if... In autumn of 2013, someone important to me died, and it was Akari the whole time. I literally... Man, I predicted so many things about this game, but I just went about it in the wrong way. But... Yeah. My poor, I'm literally in the same boat as Aoi, where it's just like, no, I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe this. want to see the statues. Nope, she's still gone. Well, yeah, that was Pedestal. Honestly, very good game. I'm like, I actually need to like take some time to myself now because, wow, that was my girl. And literally, was Akari's pedestal always there, like the red? I don't even know, but I'm just like, shit. I like, wow. I'm like literally like, I don't even have words. Like, I need to process it because like, that literally just hit me in the gut. Like, they were all alluding to it. I was like in the same boat as Aoi where I just didn't want to believe it. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for Pedestal. So we're gonna probably maybe starting a new Let's Play soon. I think I know what it is, but I won't reveal it just in case I change my mind. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, so I took a full day to myself, and then I decided I wanted to come back so I can record my final thoughts on Pedestal. So I finished playing this game yesterday, and I literally stopped what I was doing, and I just like cried, much like Aoi did. Yeah, this game really hurt me in a way that, I haven't really felt since Omori, to be honest. And, I think the reason for that is because this game just does a masterful job of setting up Akari's character. If you've been watching up until this point, you know that I was in the same headspace as Aoi, where I loved Akari. I praised her every episode. I thought that she was a badass, and she, you know, like, she did what she wanted, and she, you know, like, you know, you've always had those people that are just bored, so they go along with what their friends do, but she, at the end of the day, she was smart, and but she was caring. Like, she cared so much about Aoi, and she supported her, and, you know, she was the one that got Aoi's motivation back, and she was the one that did all this stuff to the point where I refuse to believe that even after everything, she didn't care about Aoi at all. I don't think that's true. But because of that, because of the way they set it up in that way, that you feel the same feelings as Aoi does as you're working through stage 2. This, like, no, it can't be true. No, there's no way. There must be another explanation. And then, yeah, like, Akari just lays it out. And I think the reason why it hurts so much, first of all, I should disclose, I'm one of those people that, like, I have trouble differentiating fiction from reality, not in, like, any hallucination or concerning type of way, but, like, when a character dies, I grieve the same way for a fictional character as I would a real person. When a character gets betrayed, I feel the hurt that they feel. When they feel happy, I feel the happiness they feel. Like, I have a lot of trouble, like, distinguishing emotions in that way. I don't feel that, like, separation from fiction that some people do, to the point where, like, I don't feel like I feel the same way they do, as if they were real people. And I think that was why I was the perfect target to get hurt by this one, especially because I can't understand Akari at all in the same way that Aoi can't, because Aoi acts in such a way that Aoi is very considerate of other people. Like, she's insensitive and she is selfish in the way that she acts how she wants, and she wants answers, but at the same time, she is willing to give up her investigation if it means she's hurting other people. And she continues because she wants Sakura to be saved, and she wants people to be saved. And at the end of the day, like, she is a very selfless person. So, in that way, Akari is the opposite, where Akari doesn't really feel anything towards other people, and she hurts them just because she's bored. And I just can't understand that mindset, because I feel I'm too much of an empathetic person, much like Aoi is, where I can't do that. And, yeah, so I think because of that chasm, kind of, like, I can't understand why you would do that, where it just like it hurts because it's like, this is someone I thought I knew, this is someone I looked up to, and like that's like that is the whole point of the game, like that's the beauty of the game, right? But yeah, I don't know, I think this one hurt a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Like I really did love Akari so much, and I'm just like but yeah, and I think like in the comparison to Omori, I looked at like some people's like I really wanted to see other people's opinions, but like nobody's played this game, so nobody really has any thoughts on it. But like I saw someone vaguely like talk about it in comparison to Omori, and then I started thinking about that in comparison. And I think like that's where my issue lies. Like Omori gave me this conflict of like everyone in Omori is like, not everyone, but like the main characters, like I'll leave it vague because I won't spoil anything, but like the characters in Omori are very morally gray. But like the thing is, I understand their motivations to the point where I can't think of them as bad people. Whereas like Akari is like I can't understand what she did. Like I can't understand why. Like I can't spin it in a way that like, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. And like that's the thing too, is like the game is about like, you know, not trying to fit people into your own ideals, because you're never going to understand them, and I think that's where I fall short, right? But I will say though, on the topic of like the actual junior high teacher, I actually do not blame Akari for that death at all, because as a like junior high student is a young teenager. I'm actually gonna look up how old they actually are. I should have before. And he's junior high. I should have looked it up before, but I didn't. But yeah, so like students in junior high are between the ages of 12 and 15. So Akari would have been 13 because it was second year of junior high. And as a 13-year-old, having an adult constantly tell you that they constantly venting to you and using you as their outlet and like telling you they want to kill themselves, like, yeah, of course you're gonna just tell them to do it, right? Like I don't blame her for that at all, because that's very mentally taxing. But like what she did with Shiori, I just can't, like, I can't sympathize in any way, and that's why it hurts, because it's like, damn, girl, you were my idol, and now you have fallen. And that's why second ending, leave my idol alone. And honestly, this is a very like rambly-esque thing, because like I took the day to collect my thoughts, but I have really strong feelings about it, so it's kind of hard to put it into words. So I hope some of that made sense, but yeah, this game is really gonna sit with me for a while, and I honestly am really excited to just kind of put it away and like not think about it for a bit, because it did actually like really hit me emotionally, and yeah, it was a tough one for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.